Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel and to my first video of 2023. So happy New Year everybody. So to begin this video, I found like this really cheap pocket watch off of Amazon. It was like £5. I took the back off and then cut the clock face out. I did notice that at the top of the crown was going to fall out if I didn't find a way of securing it, otherwise I wouldn't be able to use the mechanism. So I'm just using a little bit of my epoxy sculpt. I know I'm supposed to wear gloves, but I'm not allergic to epoxy sculpt, but if you're new to trying it and all the rest of it, wear gloves when mixing this stuff because you could have an allergic reaction to it. But yeah, I'm just using my epoxy sculpt just to hold that little pin in. Then I went on to make some fairy wings that you won't see at all because I hide it behind literally everything. I know they're there. I'm just using some sweet wrappers and some UV resin to create some tiny little wings for my fairy. Now, I'm not going to lie, sculpting at this scale was at the very limit of my, miniature abilities. I really struggled with proportion on this one. I originally sculpted this fairy maybe 2 or 3 times where it was way too big. And it was just a very difficult build for me. So I'm not going to do too many more miniatures in the future. I really struggled with this one. But it's still a fun build. I'm just not going to try it again. To make sure everything sticks to my pocket watch, I'm just using a little bit of oven bake clay adhesive, otherwise known as bacon bond, down onto the back of the watch plate, just to secure everything. I quite often get asked this question, how I get things to stick. So bacon bond, but if you want to find it online, it's oven bake clay adhesive. Such a long-winded name. This face took me so many attempts, and I also realised that my fairy has no neck. I didn't have a space for a neck, and I wasn't sculpting it again. So I feel like I have created my own little creature. Fairies don't have to have necks unless we go with traditional values and stuff like that, because my fairy has no neck. Throughout the sculpting process, I made sure that I tested by putting the front of the pocket watch back onto the back of the pocket watch, just to make sure that I hadn't built my fairy too far forward, and that she wasn't going to get squished when I went to put the glass back on. Also, before I went on to any like baking or anything else like that, I made sure that the front was never on the pocket watch, purely because I think if the heat had been trapped behind the glass, we could have potentially had like an explosion in my oven. So I made sure that I only did any sculpting that needed doing was on the back plate of the watch. I'd left the front exactly how it is, and I kind of think it looks good that way. It doesn't need anything extra. To make my little fairy's clothes, I just run a small piece of polymerclay through my pasta machine at like setting 6, which is one of its finest settings. For some reason it goes even lower than that. I think after that you're working in like atomic scale anyway. And it would be unworkable. It would be so thin, it would be very, very fragile. And me and my big clumsy hands would not be able to do it. But yeah, just to make the clothes, one of the thinnest settings you can get. If you don't have a pasta machine, you're going to need to roll until you can barely see your clay. I decided to add a couple of little mushrooms because all fairies come with mushrooms. I'm not quite sure why that's a thing, but that's a thing. Oh, no, it is a thing because of fairy rings, isn't it? Self-realisation. Yeah, after I finished adding in the little mushrooms and stuff like that, I did one final check to make sure everything fit, and then it was time to put this little fairy in the oven. After she had completely baked and cooled down, it was on to paint. I'm using my usual Arteza paints and pebeo paints. Yeah, just the usual process, and I will just let you enjoy the painting montage unless there's anything else that I need to tell you. I don't think there is, but I will find out as I'm going, because I'm as surprised as you sometimes at the things that I edit. See, there was something else I needed to tell you. After I finished painting the fairy, I went on to completely hide every evidence of the wings ever being there using some woodland scenics. And then I realised that I'd completely forgotten to put wash on after I'd added all of those to try and like dampen down some of those really bright colours, so I did it afterwards. Thankfully it didn't get into the little plants. But yeah, then it was finished, so I just attached the back to the front of the watch again. That did make sense. And this project was all done. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I know this was only a short video. I have got something bigger in the pipelines. So, you know, I do hope you stick around. So please do subscribe if you are new here. And if you're not new here, welcome back. Right at the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you soon. See you later. Bye.